Hello friends, I'm at a tea party and I'm wearing my beaded capelet and I have a fancy hat. We're having some herbal tea and we're having some fancy chips, otherwise known as sour cream and onion potato chips.
Baked fresh this morning.
It's delightful. I have some friends here with me. This is not my house. We have fruit, we have vegetables, we have small children. It's everything we could possibly want.
Rowdy children.
Yes.
Posh.
Bonjour.
Well, I've been told that my accent's too posh. I think it's supposed to be more like this. Who wants some tea?
Are you going hungry?
I am hungry. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain.
Hey. It's hey.
I love it.
Gonna get back to my tea. Sorry, I don't know how to speak proper British. Oh, British. I need some butter. I know I'm being Irish.
Get off the phone. That's all I know.
I went from tea party to me party. A friend gave me a gift card to one of my favorite restaurants. It's a Thai restaurant. And I just decided I'm gonna go out by myself. My daughter has been a little intense. Let me show you an example. Just got home from choir and someone had a heyday with the Parmesan cheese in my computer chair. For all people know, I'm on a date with my long-distance boyfriend, right? We're FaceTiming with my deployed husband. Possibilities are endless. Maybe I'm on a date with you guys. I have a bunch of shopping to do after this, and when I get home I'll have a nice full tummy and I can get some things done. I have a lot of projects I need to do at home, a lot of decluttering to do, and it's been hard with my toe being injured for a month. A toe is such a small thing, yet when you can't walk well, it's just kind of hard to get things done. This is my favorite soup. Hot and sour soup with coconut milk, galanga. I don't know what galanga is. Maybe I don't want to know. Lemongrass. I love anything lemony. Lime leaves and mushrooms. I'm not ordering this one, but it's really good. The crab rangoon. Deep fried wonton stuffed with crab meat and cream cheese, served with plum sauce. I ordered the massaman curry, coconut milk, potatoes, crispy roasted peanut, roasted onion, and carrot. I'm getting that one with beef. I like the atmosphere in here. Lights are fun. But I just noticed there is a Valentine's helium balloon way up there. How is it still stuck up there? I can only imagine the child that screamed at the top of their lungs when it happened. This is the soup. It is so good. I like to actually put rice in the soup. I actually went into labor in this restaurant. My mom wanted to take me out for lunch one more time before the baby was born, and I had many contractions like usual, but then I had one non-stop contraction all the way home in the car. She dropped me off and I went to the bathroom and I called her right back and said, there are things happening. So I put her on standby, and later she picked up the kids and brought them home for the weekend, and things were going slow. So I had a massage scheduled because of the car accident I had been in, just a few weeks before that. And my midwife said I could still go to the massage appointment and maybe it would even help. It still didn't move things along, and so we were close to an hour away from the hospital. It's a long story. We had just moved and I didn't want to change hospitals. We had a singing workshop for our choir a lot closer to the hospital. So I had my husband take me there. I thought all the walking around and vocalizing would maybe speed things along, but it still wasn't going anywhere. So we just tried to go out to dinner at this Mediterranean place, and it was the only thing that sounded good, but they were closed already. So I was very upset. We drove home an hour. I was in agony. We had some leftover soup, and then I was freezing cold all night and just writhing in pain. And I didn't know it, but our furnace wasn't working that night. It was blowing cold air for some reason. And so I got up and thought, no wonder I've been freezing all night long. So I'm in labor and I'm freezing cold. It was November. And I called my midwife the next morning because I felt like I was dehydrated because I had no appetite. We went in and I wasn't really making all that much progress, but I was strep B positive this time, and I had to have an IV for 4 hours before the baby was born. So we did one round of that, and she said maybe she would send me home, but I knew I was in labor, and we had both been awake pretty much all night. So I went to my friend's house, and it was hilarious because she had made this lion's head thing for photos for this carnival. And she asked me if I wanted to put my head in it, and I said yes. So here I am in labor, goofing off. Pretty typical of me. We stayed there for a couple hours, went back to the hospital, started another IV, and after, maybe an hour or so, the midwife checked me again, and she goes, "Oh, you're at a 6. I guess we're admitting you." So my contractions have been all over the place. So this ended up being 36 hours of back labor. And so it started about 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday, but I didn't have her till almost 11 o'clock on Saturday night. So not a fun time. I spent most of Saturday in triage, so I couldn't even be in a private room with my music playing or anything. I think because of the car accident, my body just kind of couldn't get with it. So I was having contractions every 10 minutes, like every 3 minutes, every 8 minutes, every 4 minutes. It just was not regular, but I knew I was in labor because I've had 4 other kids before that. And I kept telling the midwife, I don't think I'm going to be able to tell if it's time to push or not. And she said, "Oh, you'll know." I said, "No, all I can feel is crushing, stabbing pain." And after they broke my water, the baby went higher. Typical of her. So they had me go in the bathroom and sit backwards on the toilet with my forehead against the wall to make her go lower. And I was just miserable, moaning and groaning like crazy. And I kept saying I wanted to be checked again, and I stood up because I was going to make the midwife check me. And I gripped on to the handrail on the wall, and I was kind of lunging side to side trying to tolerate the pain. And I decided I'm going to do just one light push to see what happens. And immediately her head moved down. And I said, "She's coming out." And I hightailed it to the bed, and my mom said later, she was wondering, "Oh, I wonder why she has that urgent look on her face." She said I practically flew into the bed, and my husband said as soon as I laid back, baby was crowning, and the midwife goes, "Okay, so here's what we're gonna..." Oh. So she realized, she was gonna tell me, "Oh, we're gonna break down the bed, blah, blah, blah." And my husband was actually gonna catch the baby this time, which he had never done before, but he said, "No one caught her, you just pushed her right out into the bed." So, yeah, seriously, she came out in like one push or something like that. And the midwife kept thinking the baby was going to be big. And she goes, "What position were you in? You're just a little peanut." So she was 7 pounds, 4 ounces. The thing is, I kept measuring big, because whenever they checked me, I was having a contraction. So, I love babies. I don't love being pregnant very much, and I don't love being in labor for 36 hours. So every time I come here, I think about special labor. Is that not a good story to tell on a date? Sorry about that. I'm back at my favorite hangout. I just want to tell you guys, you haven't lived until you've tried on spandex in front of a full-length mirror on a Friday night. I could use some new t-shirts, pick some of those. I've been having a hard time finding pants that fit. I'm short and they're usually way too long, and I don't sew. It takes me like an hour to sew on a button. It's ridiculous. Well, this is cool. Their plus size model actually looks plus size. It's a nice change. When shopping, it's important to distinguish between wants and needs, and these Wonder Woman socks are definitely a need. I don't feel like I can justify the leg warmers though, because I'm usually overly warm, so not this time. I'm trying on tops now in my least favorite place in the world. I don't know about this elasticy thing. It'll probably break after a while, and I don't think it's worth the price. Okay, I found some just V-neck t-shirts that fit. Kind of boring. I sat down to rest and listened to the rest of the Coldplay song that was on, and I heard them call customer service to the liquor cabinet. I think it was probably the lady who couldn't get her pants past her thighs. The dressing room was a depressing place. It's a crusher of dreams. I'm gonna buy some celery, not because I'm gonna eat it, but because it'll induce vomiting all night long. I just realized I need new shoes for my concert because the shoes I have right now will probably re-break my toe. Shoe shopping is probably my least favorite kind of shopping. Does that mean I should have my woman card removed? I have a hard time finding things that are affordable and feel comfortable. Ironically, I worked at a shoe store quite a few years ago, and I didn't buy one pair of shoes when I worked there. Their return policy encouraged people to steal because they didn't require a receipt. And one guy came in claiming that he bought this pair of boots at our store and that he was just returning them, but I touched every single pair of shoes every single day when I was straightening them, and I flat out told him, look, I know you stole these shoes, but we have a stupid return policy, so I'm going to give you the money. And he smiled and he wasn't offended at all. It's kind of funny. We also had a woman who had her kid distract me while she stole a whole bunch of shoes. Touching, huh? I'm not positive, but I think this adapter will make my old monitor work with my new computer. It's going to save me quite a bit of money. Today, one of my piano students said, "You're out of milk." And I said, "You mean you've been rummaging through my fridge looking for milk to drink?" She grinned sheepishly. She said, "I was thirsty." I said, "You drink milk at your house." Okay, I'm done with that fun party. Self-esteem killing party. I'm gonna go get some gas, and then I'm gonna pick up my son, and then I'm gonna go home and make everybody clean.